A very pleasant good day, brothers and sisters in Christ and outside the body of Christ. Well, once again, this is your Christian brother, Eric Brax. I'm happy to join you all in the month of June 2022 on my social media platform, YouTube, reaching out to you all with my Christian right and a fellowship on a weekly basis to present these teachings to you all and to update you all and to edify all your heart, both physically and spiritually, with the truth and of course with the words of God, where I discuss many issues, where I discuss many topics and many issues, brothers and sisters, and I bring these issues and discuss it with you all, brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, don't you all find that something is very strange that is taking place in the world today? I will tell you what is very strange that is taking place in the world, and none of you all is recognizing it. And even self, you all recognize it, you all are keeping all your mouth shut and not talking about it. I have been recognizing it for a very long time. And I, Eric Braxton, have been keeping my mouth shut about the matter for a very long time. And I decided to speak about it. What is that thing that is Eric Braxton about to discuss that is very strange? The topic that I'm ready to discuss with you all, brothers and sisters, is very strange, is reincarnation. Not amongst humans, because I don't believe in reincarnation, but reincarnation, the research of reincarnation is taking place amongst human beings. In other words, they are interviewing other people who claiming they're reincarnating. So other human beings claiming they're reincarnating over a period of years, and the researchers is doing that. But you all haven't found something strange? I will tell you the strange part. The doctrine of reincarnation is say that part of that doctrine of reincarnation, the teacher is not when people reincarnated, they not only reincarnate back as human beings, they reincarnate back as animals. But when you observe all the videos on YouTube and on the social media, we only see that the researchers is only interviewing people who claim that they reincarnated. But no researcher is not going to no animal and interview the animal, and the animal is talking back to the man, and the animal is telling the man, in a previous life I live a life. I was a man. Or when I born a man. But I live a bad life, and because the bad life I live, now I reincarnate back as a dog or a pig. All you seeing that taking place amongst the researchers? No. All you will never see that. No part of the world that is taking place. And in all the researchers that are doing research on reincarnation is only human beings they are interviewing who claim that they reincarnated back. But the doctrine of reincarnation teach that people who live a bad life, they can reincarnate back as animals. So that doctrine of reincarnation, if the researchers is only interviewing people who claim they reincarnated back, what about the people who reincarnate back as animals? How none of the researchers is not left out the people and going up in the forest or in the neighborhood and find a dog who claimed that he lived as a woman in France, but now when they said France, he reincarnated back as a pig and interviewing the pig. How come you all are not seeing that? You know why you all not seeing that? Because in the first incident, reincarnation is not true. It's just a theory. It is false. That's why you all are not seeing that the researchers is interviewing a pig. How will the researcher know that this pig really live as a man in France, but now he live a bad life in France, and because of his bad karma, which is sins, according the next word for in their Hindu philosophy, karma is sin. So his bad karma, he can't live back as a pig. But the pig is not talking language. When he was a man in France, he was talking the French language. But according to the doctrine of reincarnation, he lived a bad life, bad karma, a bad life. He was a criminal murderer, serial killer. Now he died, he reincarnated back as a pig. But as a pig, he not talking the French language. He moving less as the ordinary pigs. How will he know that person that incarnated as a pig was really a man who lived a former life? The reachers can't know that. So right there, the doctrine of reincarnation is not standing up. Are you all understand what I'm saying? That is the strange thing what I'm showing you all. It is strange in the sense that no researchers is not going to interview no animals, because each animal is communicating in their own language. So the German, okay, let me take the whole example and apply the same principle into all the countries of the earth. Let us say the German researchers in Germany gone to a farm to interview a horse. When you go to the horse is not talking German. It's just a normal horse as the other horse. He can't know. He will be seeing the horse as any other horse. But to really know that if reincarnation was true, now I don't believe in reincarnation, but I'm saying if reincarnation in fact was true and it was of God, and people really reincarnate back in animals because of the bad sins, and a person reincarnate back as a horse, when the German researcher go to the horse will be talking in the German language. In other words, the horse will be telling everybody, hi, in the German language, hi, I am Miss Mary. I live in Germany in the next town, and I was a man. I was born a man, but because of my bad karma, my sins, I reincarnated back as a horse. And I'll remain on a horse maybe for 90 years until I die. But now as the horse, I'm trying to be good. I'm not trying to beat up the other horse with me, because I'm being good to the other horse. You understand? But I incarnate back as a horse. The horse will be talking in the German language. So when the interview when the German researcher who believe in reincarnation and trying to prove reincarnation exists, he'll go up to the horse, and he and the horse will be talking, because he talking to the horse in Germany, and the horse talking back to the man in German language. So he will know, well, this is true. The person really come back, reincarnate back as a horse. But are we witnessing that taking place all over the world? The answer is no. Are we witnessing that taking place all over the world, where the researchers are going to the animal in each different country, whether in Japan, and the fowl and the goat? The man who live a bad life in Japan that reincarnate back as a goat is talking to the goat in a Japanese language. So the Japanese researcher who's a Japanese could interview him, and they're having a discussion. Is that taking place in all the language of the earth? The answer is no. And we are not seeing that, and we are not witnessing that. That is the proof that reincarnation doesn't exist, and it's just a theory. Because in fact, if reincarnation exists, and it was of God, exactly how I described it, that be taking place. But what we are witnessing, it was only taking place amongst humans, not reincarnation, but human beings claiming they live in past life and they reincarnate back. But that is not the whole doctrine of reincarnation, because if you read the doctrine of reincarnation, they teach human beings will reincarnate back as animals. How come human beings is not reincarnating back as animals? You see, it's not adding up. So the people who believe in reincarnation will tell you, oh, not the whole doctrine of reincarnation is taking place, but part of the doctrine of reincarnation is only taking place amongst the humans, but not in the animal sector. That will be true, because the doctrine of reincarnation teach you can reincarnate back as a tree and a plant and animals. But they were telling you, no, it's only part of the doctrine of reincarnation is taking place. That's why you only see human beings claiming to be reincarnated back, but they're not reincarnating back in animals. You see, right there the doctrine contradicts itself. Because nowhere in the world, no researcher never interviewed no animal who claimed that he reincarnated. It's only researchers, is only going to human beings like himself who claiming they reincarnated back. I am not lying. Do the research for yourself and look at all the videos on the World Wide Web, and you all will see for yourself. It's only human beings, researchers, going to other human beings who making that claim that they reincarnated. But you will never see all the millions of researchers who doing research on reincarnation is not going to view any animal that claim that the person in the animal, or the person who come like a whole animal, claiming that in a previous life he was a woman, but now he come back as a snake. The person in Japan claim he was a woman, but now he come back in the form of a fowl. And he talking, and each of them talking in the Pacific language, in the each Pacific language to the researcher. Are we witnessing that? The answer is no. And that's what the doctrine of reincarnation teach. You see? So right there, the doctrine of reincarnation contradicts itself. Because in the first place, reincarnation doesn't exist. That's why you all are not seeing these things. Because reincarnation is not of God. That's what the Bhagavad Gita teach. People reincarnate as a tree and plant, and they reincarnate back as animals in the animal world. You see? But as I said, let's remind you all that if reincarnation in fact was of God, and reincarnation was actually taking place, then how I describe it, it had be taking place. Because the person who can reincarnate back as a monkey, he won't. Let me say he live in Russia as a man, and he live a bad life, and he reincarnated back as a monkey. In that monkey state, he will be talking the Russian language. So when the and he will be making himself clear to everybody, hi, I am not an ordinary monkey as the other monkey in the tree. I live in Russia in my same area that I born with my mother and father, but I live a bad life when I was a youngster. I shoot and I kill a lot of people, and because of my bad karma of sin, I reincarnate back as a monkey, and everybody will be understanding him because he's talking fluent in the Russian language. So they know, the researcher now, who believe in reincarnation, will go up to the monkey, the man in the monkey form that reincarnate back, and the researcher and the monkey will be having a healthy discussion, because the Russian researcher will be talking in German, Russian language to the monkey, and the monkey who claim that he reincarnated back as the monkey now who claim he lived in the past as a man in Russia, but because of his bad sins he reincarnated back a monkey. He will be talking in the Russian language back to the researcher, and be seeing that in the video, and we be seeing that all over the world. But are we witnessing that? Is people seeing these things taking place over the world? The answer is no. And I'm telling you, if reincarnation were of God, and these things was really taking place, then we better be witnessing that. The man who live as a man and come back as a monkey, that be talking to the researcher. If he was in Germany, he'd be talking the German language. The man who live in Japan as a Japanese, and he live a bad life, and you reincarnate back as a bird, he'd be talking back to the researcher in the Japanese language, but as he's a bird. But are we witnessing that or any part of the world? The answer is no, it is not taking place. That is the proof reincarnation is not true. Because I tell you, if it was of God, that is exactly that be taking place. You see? You see, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not trying to be funny. I'm just examining the doctrine. I'm teaching you it is not happening that way according to their teaching. And since it's not happening that way, it's not true. But they want you to, but they're telling you, human beings is only reincarnating back as human beings. That's why you only seeing human beings claiming they reincarnated back as human beings. But that's not the whole doctrine of reincarnation. The teacher, the bad people, just reincarnate back as animals and all these things. How we not seeing none of them coming back as animals and talking in the said language when they was previous human beings? But now they come back animal, they're talking in the same language, but they have an animal body. or they're talking the same language, so the researcher could interview them. Are we witnessing that? No. And I'm saying that if reincarnation was of God, and God had designed it, so that's exactly how I describe it that be happening. So that is an indication to tell you that God did not design it so. And reincarnation is not of God. And how I describe it, you see not happening because it is not of God. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls all over the world, that's the facts of the matter. But I know all the Hindus and them will disagree with me and criticize me and say I'm criticizing the doctrine that they hold solely and believe. They are my brothers and sisters. I love them with the love of Jesus Christ. And I know many people who believe in reincarnation who are not Hindus will say, Eric Braxton, you are attacking the Hindus and you're attacking our religion and our doctrines on reincarnation. And we could prove reincarnation and all these things. They say they could prove it, but they're not proving it. You see, that is a belief, but that belief is not true. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, because I did give all the indication. If it was true, and if it was God, it had to happen how I describe it. And since it's not happening, so it's not of God and it is not true. You see? You see? You see? You see? You see? You see, ladies and gentlemen? Because all the researchers is only interviewing people, human beings, who claiming they reincarnated back. You see? You see? And reincarnation, the doctrine of reincarnation, does not only carry the human side of it, it carries the animal side of it. Where people coming back in form of animals. How we not seeing that? And none of the researchers who is doing research on reincarnation is not asking themselves that because they of themselves seems to be ignorant to what the Bhagavad Gita teach about reincarnation and what the Vedas teach about reincarnation. Because if they don't know fully what these religious books talk about reincarnation, then these researchers are asked a question. The researcher who live in England to go and interview the little boy in Russia who claimed previously in Russia he was a woman, but now he reincarnated back as a boy. When the American researcher going there to interview he asked the little boy, something is very strange. He'd asked the little boy, little boy, before I interview you, I walk with a copy of the Bhagavad Gita. And they say, you could, look at saying the Bhagavad Gita, people with a bad karma sin is reincarnated back as animal. But in only 40 years as a researcher, I never went and interviewed nobody who came back as a pig or a goat. My 40 years of reincarnation is human beings who claiming to be, like myself, who claiming to be reincarnated back, that I go in an interview. Then he will say, something is wrong here, little boy. It's true, I leave England to come to interview you because you say you in the past you was a woman, a police officer, but now you reincarnate back as a little boy in the same village that you claim that you're born 100 years ago as a woman. But you didn't come back